Well, we had a unique opportunity today to go behind the scenes at the United States Supreme Court for an interview with Justice Neil Gorsuch. We're working on a story about Gorsuch's book, A Republic If You Can Keep It. Senior Washington correspondent Jennifer Wishon also had an opportunity to talk with Gorsuch about something that's very personal to him.
You have led a storied career that has allowed you to be here as a justice on the Supreme Court. You are a husband, you are a father. Give us a sense of how your Christian faith sustains you.
Well, this is a very personal subject to me. And I have to say that there are certain moments in life when you feel the power of prayer around you. And for me, one of those moments was during the confirmation process. And I can't tell you how many cards, letters, notes, people coming up to me in the streets, in coffee houses, on airplanes. And they might say, I voted for this president, I didn't vote for this president. But they'd always say, I'm praying for you. And I wish you well. And I love our country. And I love our Constitution. And God bless you. And those moments meant more to me than I'll ever be able to express in words. There were points during that process where I was feeling pretty sorry for myself, Jennifer. And I had lost my anonymity completely. You don't realize what a gift that is till you lose it. Sitting in a restaurant and somebody's videotaping you slurping your noodles from across the restaurant. You know you've hit a new low when. And then I realized, as we all do, that when God takes something away from you, He often gives you something else in return if you just look for it hard enough. And what He gave me was an incredible gift. I get to witness now, every day, in countless ways, the goodness of the American people, the kindness, their love. And it touches me deeply. And I'll share one little quick story with you. I'm on an airplane from Denver to DC for the umpteenth time in the middle of the winter with walking pneumonia. And I'm feeling sorry for myself. And I'm seated next to an 8-year-old little girl. And her mother's somewhere else in the plane, for whatever reason. And we start hitting some serious turbulence. And this little girl leans over to me and says, "Would you mind holding my hand?" And as a father, nothing more precious than that, right? So we held hands for 20 minutes till the turbulence cleared. And then she leaned over to me and said, "Now, would you like to draw?" And so we spent the next 2 hours in her coloring book, coloring. And I was completely anonymous for those 2.5 hours. And I came out of that plane ride so totally refreshed and renewed. And of course, we're walking down the gangplank, and her mother recognizes me. And we shake hands, and it's nice. 2 weeks later, I get a thank you note in the mail from the little girl saying, "Thank you for holding my hand during that bumpy ride." And it's a picture she's drawn for me of an airplane and 2 stick figures in front holding hands. And to me, that's what it's all about.
And Jennifer joins us now. Jennifer, great interview, first of all.
Really good.
Take us behind the scenes. What was it like sitting down with Justice Gorsuch?
Well, it was very neat. Supreme Court justices give lots of speeches, but they rarely sit for interviews. And so we were inside the Supreme Court building in the Solicitor General's conference room. And to kind of highlight the gravity of the moment, the court actually had 4 staff members in there with us to kind of observe what was happening. So it was very special.
A rare opportunity, special indeed. But we also talked to him about his book. And one of the topics in his book that he touched on in a pretty detailed fashion was overcriminalization. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I asked him about this, Eric, and he actually leaned in and said, yes, he's very concerned about this. He's concerned that not enough Americans can afford a lawyer. He's concerned that it takes way too long to get to trial. And he's very concerned about something that I've reported on, which is when Congress delegates its authority to make laws to unelected bureaucrats. And bureaucrats have literally written hundreds of thousands of regulations in this country. There are literally too many to count, and I'm not making that up. people just stopped counting because they couldn't keep track. Some of these regulations will land you in prison, and he has a big problem with that.